You know, I never really get tired of being right. But I just wonder if people actually listen. You know what I mean? I feel like that's valid. This is the X I drew last Thursday when Price was here and gave the exact plan for if you got a channel reclaim, what would happen, where do you long, where do you put your stops? I don't know, man. It's just like sometimes you're speaking into the void. You know what I mean? I posted a video a couple hours ago. I think it was a couple hours ago. That was like a highlight video from last week. The stream on Monday, the high time frame aspect of it, how important the channel was, explaining how to draw it, what the price action would look like. And then at the end of the video, I did a little like screen overlay of what actually happened on the price. And it was exactly what we said was going to happen. Pretty sick. Droids. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Yeah, so there's a new subscriber only video on Twitch. I'm going to put it on YouTube in a little bit because it's just too fucking good to only have one place. But yeah, I mean, if you followed our plan last week off of the, yeah, there you go, off of the two streams that we had, you had a good week. Good week, good weekend, which is nice. I love having these like these little drawings that I put on the chart, just like stay there. Because it's just like they look like they're drawn out of nowhere, but when you drew them here, and people are like, "Oh shit, man, that guy knows what he's doing." Yeah. Not my first ride. Not my first ride. Last Thursday, we talked about whether or not we would close under, right? Whether or not we would close under the channel and accelerate the breakdown. And obviously we didn't. We got what we thought would happen or we thought could happen. Really, I don't care either way. You just have a plan for both. And when we were down here is when last we streamed, right here, this bar. And there you go. Get the take out of the high, long conditions activated. And the funny thing is the title of this stream is 36K next because here, let's do this thing that everybody loves. Hold on. I forget where the hell they put them. Ghost bar. Ghost, is that it? Yeah. That's all I want, bro. Come on. All right, fuck you. We done. You know what I mean? Like, you do some shit like that. Like, there's plenty of reasons to think that there's high-sided possibility here. I'm not saying it's going to be that, but if we for real held this, if we for real held the bottom of this channel and it's not just a fake up, which it could be, like the biggest case, in my opinion, for this might not be real is like we got up to the 50 and immediately rejected, which is pretty common. Okay. I've said to you guys before when we've talked about a divergence play is that's the first part of it. You get this higher high on price, but a higher low on momentum. You break to the downside, retest, and then head lower. Okay. So that's still in play. It's still in play, but, where this is taking place is just pretty. It's a precarious spot, but you know, like there was already a reason to get long. You know where your stops are. You can retake the 50 again, and I don't. It'll just be a battle at 30-31, which will be amazing. It'll be good for everybody. It'll be a nice run from there. So it's not ridiculous. It's not ridiculous to think like, you know, you break those two things, this downtrend line, that 50, first stop 30, second stop 36. No joke. Right there. You can just see some like games move to the high side. I think it is a 50-50 split. I know that's kind of a pussy thing to say, pardon my language, to be like, oh, hey, there's a chance it could do this or a chance it might not. But like, we got what we needed because we were standing over the edge of the cliff, like looking down at a pretty precipitous drop. Okay. It's bad English. We were looking over at a precipitous drop where we would have just been right down sub 25K, and it responded. Now, it responded on a holiday weekend in the U.S. The main thing that I want to get across today is a couple points about the general market. So we got, like, I'll do like my victory lap on having this perform exactly like I fucking said it would, but I don't really care. If you're here watching, you watch me enough that you know I don't get shit wrong. But what I want to point out is the NASDAQ has been absolutely crushing it. Okay, like look at this shit. This entire move has been based off the NAS. The entire fucking move. And it's getting nearer to like pretty decent resistance, okay? Pretty decent resistance. And so there's cause for concern there. But the benefit is what's happening in the S&P. The S&P hasn't moved. We've been talking about that for a while. S&P hasn't moved for shit. Has not moved for shit. So how do we play that? And that's what I really want to talk about. But I think that right now you have this big spot on Bitcoin, this big area now where you have this downtrend line. Again, I'm going off the line charts here, just anchoring to the line because the wicks bother me. And you can see where we hit yesterday, right off the edge of it, which is pretty wild. And so you'll probably see this through, the remainder of this week. You'll see games. I don't expect us to surrender lower, not at least before Thursday. And then a decision will be made here, which is fine. That works for me. Elgo dude, what's up, man? Good to see you again. So I do not think it is outside of the realm of the possibility that if we get this DTL break, if we get this squeeze higher, you get this punch through, we'll see 30K, possibly 36. But again, flip side of that coin, the 50 capped price, exactly where it should. 50 capped price, so fine. It's fine by me. I'm not gonna go to any of the ratios really quick. I want to talk about this because this is probably now. Well, yeah, no. So what we need to have happen, like for real, what we need to have happen for the general market to extend this move. Oh, you're live, yeah. It's good to have you here, man. We caught a good session. Probably dinner time where you are. What we need to have happen for the NASDAQ real quick is to just kind of move sideways. To like take a breather. You can see down here the momentum on my indicator. It's peeling up. And this is about where it stops, right? It stopped here but once before, maybe in the neighborhood. Like it's not just going to keep crushing. So what we would ideally like to have happen is just, let this move sideways and let the S&P take over, like actually jump back in and, probably get this move to here. Honestly, maybe even higher. But what we need to see is this catching up. And the IWM's not far off, right? The Russell. The Russell has this whole area that it's just been lagging tremendously, right? Small caps. So you could see the support in the general market come from two different areas. It would either come from the IWM catching up or from the S&P catching up. And to me, it's more likely that it's the S&P. So, it's a good question. All right. Like I'm so sick and tired of the debt ceiling conversation because it's so stupid, man. It's just a catalyst for the conversation. It's just a catalyst for the conversation. That's it. That's it. Like, it's Republicans calling attention to the spending. It's it's all bullshit, dude. We have 150%. I talked about this last week about general market health. We have 150% debt to GDP ratio. Okay. And no one's going to do shit about it. So I think the problem is they're starting to figure that out. They, meaning the government, we're like, we can do whatever the fuck we want. What are they going to do? Start a war with us? Like, it's literally what they're doing. It's just fucking bullshit. So, like, you know, when you have a set of politicians that are like, holy shit, you're telling me we can spend as much as we want and, like, essentially just fuck ourselves, and the only negative potential consequences we have is this conversation. Why not? Okay. Like, you know, so it's just a bunch of posturing. This is all setting up for, dude, this next year. It's all about this next year. Think about it. Between now and November, you know, the fucking primary, the Republican primary between Trump and DeSantis is going to happen. And this is just kind of setting it up from like a fiscal conversation. You're going to see a bunch of shit about, like, you know, Donald Trump spent more money than anybody else ever did in their 4 years as president, which is true. We also spent like trillions of dollars on COVID, though. So, like, was it him? Anyway, all of that to say, there will be an agreement, I think. It'd be fucking cataclysmic for anybody who's running for re-election if they were to screw that up. So we're just going to see talking points and talking lines and just nonsense, generally speaking. It could be the catalyst, because really the jump kind of the jump happened. AI funds are a thing now. Yeah, dude, they should be. They should be. I'd rather trust something that you give, you know, instructions on exactly what to do than some jackwagon. So I'd do that too. But yeah, so I would expect to see maybe that be another catalyst to pop things higher. But then, like, what's, you know, what carries it from there? I don't know. But the two things, the Russell or the IWM, and then the S&P, so, or the SPY, however you look at it, if you don't pay for futures like I do. Instead of RTY and SES, you can look at the Russell, the IWM and the SPY. So we really, really badly want to see this move potentially to like here on the S&P 500. I'll take the high side. So you have this whole area from 42.76 to 43.27 that would help sustain this move. As for this, I'd like to see the NQ move sideways. Bottom side of the channel here, nice daily reclaim. Took out the local high. I mean, it's a lower low. It could be a lower high. But you could also make a case now that you have this happening. Not saying it is, but you could make a case. You know what I mean? Just like kind of a flagging downward channel to the bottom side of the weekly. That's fine. Yeah, 3-day. That's fine. It looks good, right? Took out that area, wicked right to my area. This would be a double bottom, kind of. I don't love it, but kind of. And kind of burned off a lot of the heat or the momentum we took to go from 19 to 13. So nothing that's really like going crazy. It's just like we were looking over the cliff and we got ourselves out of it. So like that's good. Now we got to see what happens next. Ethereum, I really haven't been paying attention to be honest. Other than we saw this, and maybe that was the tip where like we talked about the bizarre relative strength of Ethereum on the drop last week, where it was like Ethereum's like, nah, I don't believe you. We're just gonna hang out. Because here you go. Here's the 4 hour, right? Here's the 4 hour on Yeah, I'll do this right here. On Ethereum, you see this. This was a higher low. On Bitcoin, it was a lower low. So you saw a little bit of relative strength, and then they've all kind of just, moved in line with each other. But did also, again, kind of jump to the point where you would expect it to stop, which is right there. This previous pivot, that turn down point where it should have stopped, and it did. So that's good. The interesting thing that I saw when I was kind of doing my review today was this, because we talked exactly about this scenario last week. And so I'm curious if we're actually going to see the breakout on Ethereum right now. The reason why I'm curious is this is it. Like, this was essentially a DTL on the weekly. I think this is what I drew that. Yep. This is a DTL on the weekly, and you're right up against it, like right now. You're right up against it right now. Are we breaking out? Are we wicking? We've wicked out of it before. You can see it right there. So is this real or is this fake? Dale, what's good, my dude? What's good, my dude? I know you watched a little bit last week, man. Essentially did exactly what we said it was going to do. So, like, is this actually a breakout on Ethereum? I don't know. Because what I want to see happen is this. Now that we know that we're just like kind of peeking our head out, are we going to get right into this pocket and stop? Are we going to stop at 0.07? To me, that's like the confirmation of the DTL breakout. Okay, you can have like first moves, but a lot of people like that first mouse and they just jump in and they're like, fuck yeah, let's go. And then I'm getting smacked. But it looks pretty good to me, but I know that that pivot's not going without a fight. So we're going to see resistance around 0.07 if this is a sustained breakout. Percents, can we look at ETC? I'll pull it up in a second. So it looks good, if I'm honest. I like what I'm seeing out of it. You know what's funny? This reminds me of oh my god, I'm blanking on it. Hold on, I'll think of it. It's embarrassing, I don't recall. But the reaccumulation schematic. Fuck, who is that? Whatever. It looks like it. Like this is the river and it's about to jump the river. It looks pretty similar. So we'll see. But it looks decent, man. Like, are we going to actually see that thing jump? I don't know. The nice thing is when you're at a decision point, it's kind of easy to just sit back and be like, oh, fuck, we'll find out. And remember, like, I was calling this all along deviation, which I think is not unfair. I've been calling this a deviation. So, like, this was the line. It tried to break out, failed, recapture, and if it didn't, we would go to the bottom side here. That's where I drew my X. I'm forced to kind of reevaluate things based on what's taken place. And so let's do that real quick on Ethereum. I'll even go to there because I think that is the reasonable resistance area now for Ethereum. So this is weekly. I mean, it's a double top. It's 100% a double top right there. That also means that any sort of break higher is going to be explosive. It's going to be great. And I would put my minimum targets on that at 2,500. Minimum targets there at 2,500 right there. And probably you can see some crazy shit happen. So if we're reevaluating what has taken place, again, this is on weekly. I always start weekly and go lower. So this is how I DX a chart. This is how I draw it up. This is how I look. And I'm happy to look at top 10s. But when I look at this, I go, okay, this is the most clear. You can even extend this further. This is the most clear resistance on the chart, right? No doubting that. And it kind of translates over here. Not quite as nicely. But it's close. I'll do it just for the sake of the cleanliness of the chart. So you have these two areas. We're above the 50-week moving average. It's starting to curl up. That's positive. And I would say that this here is a clear top. It's a channel top. And there is the downside. Bang. It was the same thing as Bitcoin. There you go. So who's leading whom? You saw the same thing. Really, Ethereum outperformed it. It did better than Bitcoin did against the same area. Did the same better at the same area. So knowing that, let's go to the 3-day real quick. Yep, held it nicely. Held it nicely. That's a little bit off because the angle's different on the weekly versus the 3-day. But the main area ended up being the main area. Looked right to me there. Wicks down, people held in. You could tell this is accumulation towards the bottom. People not letting it go. Wicks down were bought. Nice. This one's above the 50-day. Ethereum's above the 50-day. If Ethereum holds the 50 as support on their opens and closes for the next couple of days, I think that's bullish overall for crypto. Because remember, there was a good period of time last year where Ethereum drove the market and Bitcoin was just fucking along for the ride. If we're being fair, too, that would have been your DTL, which it's already in front of it. So you got a DTL breakout and a flip of the 50 already on Ethereum. That's kind of sexy. That's kind of nice. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I think we're going to get our test of 0.07. And then it's going to be decision time. Let's look at Ethereum versus the S&P. Yeah, why is that? Here's the same area. Double top. Tried. Failed. Trying to reclaim. I'll go to ETC. People like proof of work. Is that why? You got something you're seeing, my guy. Or send me a note on Telegram. I don't see it as much. I did see, we were talking about it in the Discord today. That this is a fairly compelling chart right now. And I agree. It is. Somebody posted it. I know they had some news recently, but this is bizarrely a very compelling spot. So XRP is like sitting on the precipice of like a pretty fucking nice move. I need to look at XRP. I don't know. I would imagine that XRP is probably more over BTC. Yeah, man, Discord's lit. The Discord is lit. I expected that to be better. It's really not. But I mean, it's still like a local pivot, but it's not anything that makes me like excited. It might be, well, like, I don't, you know, whether it is or isn't, I don't know, Andy. I mean, like, I don't use volume on crypto. I don't use volume as an indicator. I think it's mostly manipulated and bullshit. So I don't do it. You can't really get good indicators off volume. The only thing I use it for is this, for the VPVR on the indexes. So like that I'll take a look at because I want to see where people have traded at what prices across all exchanges, or at least what they're saying that was. But this is the only volume for crypto that I believe. Everything else is probably bullshit. And like, you know, the best example of that is Bybit like had this KYC where a bunch of people that I personally know that trade size had to stop trading, and their metrics are completely unchanged. How does that work? Huh? Can someone tell me how the fuck that works? How can Bybit lose my business and others like me and never be like, no, we trade the same volume? What? No, you don't. You're a liar. Fucking cheaters. Cheater. Doge doing Doge things. Matic looking decent. Gold. Ever since we looked at it, fell off a cliff. Nice. Let's look at the other fun one that we have to be watching at the moment. DXY. Which I still feel is inevitably going to 105.7574. I'm going to do this underside retest. And it better not break out or else we're fucked. Like, capital F. But I don't think it's going to happen. You're going to see debt ceiling shit. We're going to print more dollars. It's going to piss more people off. Dude, I didn't want to look at Juno, man. I have not followed any of the drama. I saw like a couple people message me. They're like, yo, crazy shit at Juno. And I don't even look anymore. Because it really doesn't matter tremendously. But yeah, dude. I'm going to message Highlander and be like, the fuck's going on over there, dude? Like, can we all... I don't know. I have no idea what the fuck they're doing. It's like the only news that we ever get out of XRP is that they're a fucking goat rodeo. That's it. Nice. Out of Juno, I mean. I said XRP because I was looking at the chart. But Link just hanging out, man. Just hanging out in its own area. Doesn't bother me one bit. This is where we are. In fact, this is a pretty good buying opportunity. So I still am uber bullish on Link long term. Anytime you see shit like this over weeks, it is so unbelievably bullish. I can't even speak about it. It would take something catastrophic to change my thesis on Link for the next cycle. You just have this massive area where it's not really doing anything. It's not going up, not going down. They're not letting it fall too low. And so they're eventually going to get interested by... Someone's going to get interested and just absolutely fucking knock that thing out of the park. Yeah. You might get it. Man, I don't know. I mean, the problem is right now, you know, if things actually do move like we were just talking about with Ethereum, I don't think you're going to see it happen. I don't think you're going to get it because it's going to start moving and people are going to start piling in. Like, is this the time? I don't know. So I hope you don't see it because I already bought. But I'm not really like squabbling over 50 cents on Link. But they're just doing enough cool shit that if it works out, it's going to work out really well. It's not like it really matters too. You want to look at the Crypto 30? What is that? What's the all right, let me do the cap. We've been talking about this for so long, dude. I don't know if I like this or if this bothers me because like we're just sitting here. Yeah, so maybe just keep it where it is. I'd rather you sit on the sideline, Dan. That'd be better. Could you do that for me? Yeah, I know. I mean, it's doing the same thing for me here, so I don't really care. Because you can just invert it. And I'll go to the other ones in a second here. But the BTC dominance sitting at high. If we think it's an alt season, we need this to reject, right? And that kind of would lend credence to the top 10, top 20, top 30s, right? So it's just sitting right at that area where like it's just been kind of coiling, and that makes me nervous. But we have seen corresponding alt moves when these drops from one side to the other have come. So There's total 2. So this is the market cap apart from Bitcoin. You like to see that. I mean, that's the best thing it's got going for it right now. This chart sucks balls. But hanging out down here, I mean, this has never been like more clear that the bottom would have been in than that. I mean, we call it the bottom anyway. We did it a different way, but this bothers me because look at that. Could this have been any more clear that the bottom would have been in when we flipped the resistance of the 2017 market cap top from resistance to support and people decided to buy in? Like, fuck, man. That's the lowest hanging fruit you're ever going to find. Now, I don't personally love that we're just kind of sitting here with the 200 and the 50 just kind of chilling, like right next to each other. So I would like to see that move away. And that's what essentially like the MACD is saying as well. It's just hanging out. It hasn't made a decision. We moved sideways long enough that now we just kind of are where we are. So it would be nice to see this local range break out. But yeah, this is a hella alpha chart. Look at that thing. Fuck. I mean, it's just... Oh. Good grief, Charlie Brown. If we do get that breakout, if we do see that move out of here, I mean, that's a 50% move probability in market cap. So if we're getting this move, it should correspond with BTC dropping. So BTC dropping as a percentage of dominance going down while this moves up. Confirmation, alt season, load your lotto tickets, let's go get rich, right? That's how I would envision that working. I personally don't want to see that happen yet. I'd prefer that happen in the fall, but you know, I'll take it when I can get it. It's golf season for me, dude. Can you believe we were at 1.7 trillion and right now we're sitting at 583 billion? Just disgusting. Has enough time elapsed? You know what I mean? I don't know that it has. These charts all just kind of end up looking the same in the end, don't they? I still think Solana is, without a doubt, the biggest piece of shit there is out there. Well, and that's what I mean. So, like, if let's play that thought out to conclusion, right? So, we'll go to BTC dominance for a moment. That's potentially where the halvening is going to be. So we got some time, man. We got some time. Is it going to be alt season during that? I don't know. Is that what this would have been? Not really. But the thing is, you can expect BTC dominance to pick up leading into the halvening. Right? That's what I would expect. So, given that we know what this chart did during the last one, woo, and then alt season, right? I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to think that we're going to get some crazy fucking move, but did it once. Not to say it won't do it again. Let's go back to 2017. Just move down, retest it up. Here's the others market cap. So that's everything except for BTC and Ethereum. And yeah, dude, just kind of hanging out. Again, just absolutely disgustingly good alpha. Like just gross. Gross. I mean, here's the thing, guys. This is my like hopium for everyone. Like, do we really think it's possible that the next time we're going to break through this and like the bottom will be the retest of the 2021 top? That like we're just going to 5x from where we are now, like 100 billion to 500 billion, and then it's going to break out and go to like 1 trillion and other bullshit, and going to come back down, and like our floor for alts is $500 billion, dude. That would be, oh my god. I mean, it'd be ridiculous if that happens. I mean, if that happens and you're not rich, if you're in this space and you watch this happen where it like breaks out to the high side and this flips to becoming low, and you didn't get like absolutely beyond your fucking wildest dreams rich, you made some incredible mistakes along the way. Like, whoa, you fucked up. I know that's kind of rude to say, but 100% true. It's 100% true. Yeah, so we're getting this high level consolidation. Yeah. So like, I mean, tell me what's your what's your thesis on ETC? I don't have a tremendous lot else to talk about right now, just because we did everything that we said we were going to do last week. It turned out exactly like we said, and now it's just a waiting game. Are we going to see it move to the high side, or are we going to see this bottom level tested? But suffice to say, if you want to type that out, great. If not, don't worry about it. Like, this is the level now. Okay. So if you want to put an alert on, breakdown attempt for BTC, because this is the resistance area that we took out. So you get a breakdown below here, below the diagonal again. I would anticipate going back down to the lows, like breaking through, just like falling like a fucking rock. Zed, what's up, man? All the way down to the bottom. It's like ETH, same thing, all the potential, but community. I don't know about that, man. You're talking about ETH Classic, are you not? The one that gets hacked like every couple of years? Dude, it's had like 51% attacks in the last like 3 years. Where someone just takes control and just drains it. So I don't, you know, unless they fix that, man, I'm not putting any reasonable money in there. Thanks, Zed. Appreciate it, brother. I'm glad someone saw it. Yeah, no, it worked out perfectly, exactly what you like. And so this is the same, like, you could do this two ways now. So here's the breakout DTL. Break out for BTC. Damn, SS, my bad. That sucks. It's been a good one, though. We're only 40 minutes in. I'm about to wrap up, so it'll be a short one anyway. So yeah, this breaks out to the high side. You'll probably see me move back into the 30s. This breaks out to the low side, the previous high, these previous pivots. We need them to stay support. So if they do, wonderful for us, bully for us. And then it breaks down, you know, I would see it back 26, maybe 25. It might be the sort of thing where it's like, hey guys, I saved it for you, and then rips through everything down to, you know, nothing, which would be not fun. But I guess if I were to sum up what we learned today, it's this. Ethereum held this channel better than Bitcoin did. This resistance area is real resistance. Like, this is no joke. This actually is like the final boss for the level, but you already have the breakout of the DTL and it's holding the 50. So in my opinion right now, when I was making that joke last week about this, Okay, when I was making the joke about this, where I was like, hey, look at that. You know, Bitcoin shit itself, and Ethereum's like, I'll just put in a higher low. That almost to me feels like a shift, right? From Bitcoin to Ethereum leading. And then the chart bears that out. You have the DTL break, hold above the 50. This line never wavered really at all on Ethereum. And so I'm seeing that as Ethereum's leading. And I would, if you're scalping intraday, which you guys know I don't do often. I will sometimes when I'm super bored, but that's not now. It's golf season. I would look for the move to either start, or if Bitcoin somehow jumps first and you see it jump first, get on Ethereum. That is what I would say to you. You're going to want to be riding, because it's going to be Ethereum that drives, it looks like, for the near future. Yeah. I mean, like I said to you, I would like to see the Nas move sideways, and I'd like to see the S&P, which put in a nice little bottom while we were streaming. Let's fucking go. And the Russell take over, because we need him to catch up. You can never really see, you never really see them all like one jump and the rest of them just hang out forever. Eventually, like the weight of the S&P or sometimes the Dow, but not really. No one gives a shit about the Dow anymore. The S&P or the Russell, you're like, oh yeah, they can just hang out behind. No, they can't. They got to move with it. If they don't move with it, then eventually it's going to be the anchor around the neck of whatever is moving, in this case NASDAQ, that will pull it back down to nothing. You might want to go into your settings, SS. So like I have a ton of notifications manually turned off. Just the specific app. And you have to go into like the master settings to allow them to be pushed through, at least on an iPhone. I don't know if you have an iPhone or not. But I imagine the operating system is pretty similar. Man, look at Target. What an absolute shit show. That, my friends, is how you get fired. Look at Target just getting its ass beaten for months, really, before all this nonsense, by the S&P. Yeah, well, they should in Florida, dude. Or really anywhere in the South. But yeah, that's not good. If you had bought Target and the S&P 500 on the same day in August of last year, you'd be 46% down versus the S&P 500. Yikes. On the move for their lowest close, says August of 2020. That's funny, dude. Yeah. Some of those, I saw this news article today where they were giving out Bud Light for $3 a case and people still weren't taking it, man. They're never going to recover from that. Like, ever. I think Bud Light's done as a brand. On God, I do. I think it's done. I don't think anyone's ever going to go back to it. You can't, that's the thing about brand loyalty. Like, you fuck with people long enough, they're just like, I'm done. I'm out. Find something new. They'll get my loyalty now. I think Bud Light is legitimately done. Which is good. I mean, Bud Light tastes like shit, too. Yeah, it was so bad, dude. Go woke up. Hey, shots of Patron, man. Good to see you. Go woke, go broke. Yeah, I can't even, dude. It's funny to watch, quite frankly, of these people being like, yeah, fuck it, we'll wait in. Like, what are you doing? How about at Target, you just focus on being a grocer? How about Bud Light, you just sell beer and shut the fuck up? It's like that Dave Chappelle skit. Or here's another idea that's going to be very controversial. You could shut the fuck up. And that's all you got to do, man. The only thing this is the funny part about it, and then I'm going to go because I don't want to get into political speak here too long. But the only thing that happens from you not taking a stance politically is the people that are like underrepresented minorities yell at you. Okay, yell at me then. Or whatever it is, like the fucking woke people who are like, you should step up and talk. No. We sell diapers in fucking groceries, man. Like, we have no business wading into this bullshit. We're going to do what we do. You do what you do. We're Bud Light. No one gives a fuck about your political stance, Bud Light. No one. Literally no one gives a fuck about what Anheuser-Busch thinks. About anything. And I don't really think anyone gives a fuck about what they think about beer either, because their beer is fucking garbage. It just so happens they buy good brands. So just shut the fuck up. If any of you are out there run businesses and you have like an idea or an opinion politically you feel like you want to like get off your chest and tell people about, don't. You're a fucking moron. Anyway. And now for something completely different. So yeah, this reclaim's good. That's your line. We want to hold it. It would be much healthier if we do hold it, and then I expect to see it move higher, possibly to 30. And as I laid out last week in painstaking detail, so much so that I made a highlight video from last week about how this move would go that played out exactly like I fucking said it would. I put out a video for subscribers only. That's on Twitch. I'll release it on YouTube in a day or something. I was going to do it today, but fuck that. I want to reward people who actually subscribe to the channel. You guys are great. You're good people. You know, I'd rather be for you only, at least for a little bit longer. So check that out. That's on the video page or the VOD page on Twitch. And yeah, essentially it's an 8-minute video that goes through my stream on Monday, talks about what might happen. And then Thursday being like, hey, what we thought might happen happened. Here's what might happen from here. And it's exactly what happened over the weekend. So you had a plan for how to trade this from 8 days ago. But people are on Twitter like, oh shit, man, I just nailed that move. Fuck. Y'all never didn't see it coming. Yeah, well, if you're a pretender, I suppose not. Yeah, thank you, man. Hope you guys had a good holiday weekend if you're in the States. And if not, hope you just had a good weekend anyway, because, you know, one love. Otherwise, join the Telegram, join the Discord. The Discord people are awesome. We get some good shit in there. The links are in the description here. And with that, it's like 82 degrees where I live right now. So I'm going to go enjoy, I don't know, being outdoors or something. I'll put together a list next time of some better alts. I just don't feel like talking about alts right now. I don't see anything to suggest that like it really is alt season yet. No worries, man. Thank you for coming out, as always, Coin Shark. I don't see anything that says to me now, like, you have to get involved in alts. Like, I see my buddies in my DGen room just, like, chirping about a lot of things, but they're always chirping, even when times are shitty and they find gems. But I don't see it for like, you know, like what Algo was talking about, like, top 10, top 30s. Like, they're coming, but I want to see this right here resolve. So, those are my two things. Watch for the bottom on this move on Bitcoin for sure, and then look for this 0.069 or 0.07 breakout on Ethereum. You see that, we're gonna have a super fun summer, guys. A super fun summer. Shout out to Patron, man. Good to see you again. Been a minute. It's also still one of my favorite names. Peace.